Today, we're going to be watching a how-to video on how to change your car's engine oil. I'm going to start with explaining the process, and then I'm going to walk you through it very quickly. The process begins with looking up your materials that you'll need, and then lifting, draining, filling, checking the engine oil, and then lastly, resetting your engine oil indicator. Some of these steps will vary depending upon your vehicle, but the video itself serves as a pretty good illustration of the general process that should apply to most, if not all, vehicles. We're going to look up how much oil your vehicle takes. In this case, you'll see that the vehicle takes 4 quarts of oil. Next, we'll look up what kind of oil your engine takes, because that is important to know. In this case, the vehicle takes 5W30. Now we're going to go to O'Reilly's, and we're going to use the license plate lookup to figure out the details of the vehicle, which includes the year, make, model, and engine size. Then we're going to go over to Walmart, or we're putting in our vehicle information here, and look up the engine oil filter, and we find a name brand filter that actually matches the manufacturer in this case for $4.28. Now we'll look up the engine oil, and I believe that there's absolutely nothing wrong with using the Walmart brand or SuperTech brand of engine oil, which is $5.30 in this case, for $18.64, bringing our estimated total before tax to $29.91. Now I'm going to show you how to pop the hood of your vehicle, pull the lever outward, then go over to the front of the vehicle. There is a little lever in the center of the hood area. You'll push that lever to one side and then raise the hood up. Next, I always remove the oil dipstick, and then I remove the oil filler cap. This allows the oil to drain more easily. Now we're going to use a commercial chalk block behind one of the rear tires. You could put basically anything back here as long as it's more than a couple inches tall, just to help stabilize the vehicle. Now, on the jacking part of this process, there is a part of the car called a pinch weld. This applies to most vehicles. You just put the jack there and raise until the wheel is off of the ground. This not only gives you easier access, but also kind of forces the oil to drain towards the drain plug opening. Now, we're going to set a jack stand underneath the control arm. This is a good stable location for the jack stand. This will help keep you safe in case the jack fails. Now I'm showing you the oil filter. And the oil drain plug. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the oil drain plug using a ratchet and a socket. It should break free relatively easy, and then you should be able to spin it off the rest of the way by hand. You're going to get dirty, so just be cautious and wear gloves. And then I'm going to show you how to visually inspect the quality of the oil. In this case, you'll see that it's very thin, which means this oil was definitely overdue. I don't go off of visual quality of the oil, and I'm also looking for any sparkles in the oil. Now we're going to look at oil filter wrenches, and in this case we're using a claw style oil filter wrench on an extension with a ratchet. You'll usually need 2 hands for this process, so I'll do a little bit of movie magic to show that. You get the filter to break free with the tool, and then you can spin it off by hand. Again, you're going to get dirty doing this, so wear gloves and be cautious. If the engine has recently been running, the oil may actually be hot, so it's another reason to make sure that you're being cautious. You'll notice that I'm draining both the oil filter and the engine oil at the same time. This is just to save time. As soon as the oil filter stops draining, you can finish spinning it off. Now you're looking at the filter gasket, which is that black ring there. You're going to inspect to make sure that it's not stuck to the engine, as it does happen from time to time. And now, going to the new filter, we're going to remove it from the box, and I'm going to show you the process of putting a coating of engine oil on the filter ring. I apologize, my camera work wasn't fantastic here, but you see a nice shiny coating of engine oil on that filter ring or gasket. Now we're going to go ahead and spin it on to the car. I spin it on until it makes contact with the engine block, and then I do about a full turn after that. You see that the engine oil draining out of the engine is now at a slow drip, so we can go ahead and put the drain plug back in. I run it in as far as I can by hand, and then I move to the ratchet. If I got to where it's touching, like it is in this case, I will only try to turn the ratchet about a quarter of a turn, or until it feels nice and snug. Now clean up your mess a little bit so that you can easier see oil that may drain out past that plug. Some plugs come with a plastic gasket or a rubber gasket there. This one did not. We're going to go ahead and fill the engine oil, and we're going to put in our 4 quarts of oil. Now we're going to start the car and let it run for about 10 seconds. This gives the oil time to work its way through the oil filter, and it will give you a more accurate reading when you check the oil level on the dipstick. Using a rag to wipe the dipstick clean, you pull the dipstick back out, wipe it off. I'm showing you that the dipstick is wet currently. Now it is dry from me wiping it off. Put it back into the engine all the way until the dipstick is seated. Pull it back out again, and this should be your accurate measurement, which is on a little bit above the 3rd dot of that marker there. Put your dipstick back in, and now we will go through the reset process with this Chevy Impala. You'll use the vehicle information button, and you'll be watching the left hand of the screen as I scroll through the menu until we get to the oil life indication. Press and hold the check mark. I think it's about 10 seconds, and then it'll cycle over to 100% oil life. Then, in order to do that, you have to cycle the key forward into the on position, but not start the vehicle. We have successfully changed the oil in this car. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. And I hope that you have a great day.